might save the females because you can make more babies with them, and you save the children, but you make sure you kill all the males. And in some situations, it was so vicious, they killed male, female, children, and everything, and wiped them out and took over the territory. That's what happens under patriarchal system. And the white man was doing no more than what they was doing in Africa or anywhere else on the world, in Asia. That's how men do things. They need more resources. I'm the top dog. I'm the top dog. So if it's me and 7 of my boys, and we need Taalib's room, hey, you know, I could come to you and say, Taalib, you know, we need your room, whatever. I could do that, but it's me and 7 boys. It's just Taalib by himself. What you gonna do with me and my 7 boys? We just slice your throat, kick you out, and take your room and go and keep rolling. That's what the men have been doing in history. That's the behavior of men. And so you upset because you got your ass whooped. But then you started the whole thing. According to your story, the Moors went and did this to the white folks, and because they didn't even know that you even existed. They was over there doing their own thing, whatever. According to Nation of Islam teaching, the black man, the melanated man, is the one who started the whole damn thing off. Matter of fact, according to your teachings, according to the white people are grafted people, and they come from the Africans or some kind of way. I don't know. But anyway, when it's all said and done, the real troublemaker is the melanated people, because you should have left them damn folks alone. You know, like if you go get a dog and make that dog a pet, then the dog bites you in your face. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? The dog was over there doing his own thing. Come here, Ruffy. Come here, Snuffy. Now, whose fault is it? You get the dog and try to make a pet out of him, and then the dog bites you and bites your face off. You want to kill the dog. It's your fault. Should have left that damn dog alone. Unless you eat dog, you shoot the dog and barbecue him and put some of that good sauce on him and some hot pepper sauce in it. You know? And if you ain't gonna do that, leave that damn dog alone. You know, I don't have no sympathy for people. You see these videos, a monkey done scratched and bit somebody's face off, an elephant done body slammed somebody and stumped them. You know, you should leave them animals alone. That's your fault. It's not their fault. Matter of fact, in this country, if our ancestors wasn't as docile, they would have stopped slavery, because ain't nobody going to be running around here every time I turn around. Because you can't watch these people all the time like that. It's too labor consuming. You can't watch nobody like that. Every time you turn around, some slave and chopped your head off with a machete or something like that. They would have left the slavery thing alone, because it ain't worth it. But not us. Our ancestors, yes, sir, boss. What you want me? And remember, these people, they wasn't in chains. They only used chains during transportation or whatever. But those people in the fields didn't have no chains on them like that. They could, and they worked in the kitchen fixing these people food. Oh man, but they was docile. Yes, sir, boss. You know, they wasn't trying to poison them. They wasn't trying to cut their heads off. They was good. Just like y'all pro-black folks. Y'all talk about the house nigga. Y'all house niggas. You ain't no damn different than nobody else. You a house Negro too. You, yes, sir, boss. Yeah, I should show the boss. You ain't no damn different. Talk about the Uncle Tom. You ain't no damn different than they are. What make you different? You ain't dead.
Hey, I just wanted to point out something.
Yeah.
You know, every time I brought up the fact that we allow them to put us in slavery, you know what I'm saying, by opening up the doors for that to happen for us when we first started selling each other off. First of all, I just want to say this. The first excuse I get was, well, our people didn't have the weapon or artillery like the enemy had.
Mm-hmm.
Defend the enemies off of us. And this is why we stayed in slavery for hundreds of years. Wait a minute, hold up. Wasn't Napoleon's French military the most powerful military at the time when the Hades I mean, when the Haitians kicked their ass in Haiti, wasn't they the most powerful European military? Matter of fact, the most powerful military that the world ever seen at that time. But them Haitians, you know what I'm saying, did what they had to do to get their independence. And they still suffering for it because they kicked most powerful military's ass. One of the most powerful militaries in history under Napoleon Bonaparte was his name. I mean, even with the help of Spain and England, and I think even with the involvement, with some involvement coming from America, and they still couldn't do nothing with Toussaint Overture and General Dessalines. A small island nation like Haiti kicked all these world powers' ass. All of them was world powers at the same time, and they kicked their ass. So you mean to tell me, with one of the largest dark-skinned populations in the Western Hemisphere, which was way more than what they had in Haiti, and we couldn't do nothing like that? But you want to sit up and talk about the slave rebellions we had, but none of them was successful like it was in Haiti.
Absolutely. Now look, so he goes on, Younger goes on to say, or talks about like there was some type of utopia prior to the white man. Where is he getting his information from? Where can we find any nation in recorded human history from anywhere where there was some type of utopia where everybody got along? How you doing? You doing just fine. Ain't no kind of trouble. Ain't nobody doing nothing bad. What kind of civilization was this? Who was this? When did this happen? Because as human beings, I don't care. We could start an argument over a gumdrop. That's my gumdrop. You know, we could fight over the last piece of bread or something. We are human beings. Even animals will fight over the last piece of bread. Where is this utopia that Yang is talking about? That black folks was. And then they say that it's natural. Black people or melanated people are righteous by nature. That's a damn lie. You know it's a lie, and I always use this as an example. You could take a cow. I don't care how you breed the cow. I don't care what you do to that cow. Cows are just some docile creatures. The only thing they do is sit in the pasture and chew on some and chew on some grass. That's all they do. They don't have no kind of movement or nothing. You can slap a cow, he just said, whoa. Cows don't be tripping off stuff. That's how cows are. They just naturally docile. Now, when it comes to wolves, wolves can get down. You ain't gonna slap no wolf in the mouth and he talk about some moo. He ain't gonna do that. He gonna bite your ass back. Wolves don't get down like that. That's not their nature. Wolves ain't gonna get down like that. If it was natural if it was natural by nature, then we would be behaving that way right now. But as soon as you step on a Negro's new Jordan shoes, he want to kill you. That ain't. If it was by nature, when somebody step on your shoes, you just be like, wow, you stepped on my shoe. These Negroes want to kill you.
And don't tell me that you see it's because of the white man's influence on us while we man, ain't no white man made you pick up no 9mm, no 45 and pull it up to the head of another person that look like you.
Absolutely.
Or pull it up to the head of another melanated person, as you want to call it. Ain't no white man told you to go in our neighborhoods and sell your own people crack. Ain't no white man told you, you understand, to walk up on another melanated person and rob him because you see something he got that you want, or because you just hating on him for whatever reason. You know, ain't no white man told you you understand to rape your own melanated black sister like many of you out here doing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no you know white man told you to go gang up on your brother that look melanated like you because he wearing a red or blue color, or because he got his hat turned another way, or because he live on another block or on another side of town, or in another state or another city. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Or because he live in another part of the country, west or east coast or south or north. Ain't no white man told you, you understand me, told you to go and have your own brother or sister set up over some bull doodle because you don't want to see them progress.
Absolutely.
Which goes on a lot. The reason why a lot of black people in prison, not only because of the races, but because it got something to do with a lot of black people helping to set them up on trumped up charges to go to prison. Yeah, white man ain't never told you nothing. See, y'all need to go into all that, but y'all don't never go into that, hardly. Only because when it's self-satisfying,
right? At
the time to go into it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to go into that on the real general broad scale. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people I've heard of that went to prison, even trying to help another black person. I'm just saying, you know. So
I'm an example.
Yeah,
Negro that caused me to end up in that damn place.
Right, exactly.
A greedy, selfish Negro.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
I mean, ain't no white man responsible because our families is disgruntled or broken up or dysfunctional.
Right.
You can only keep blaming that crap on slavery for so long.
Absolutely.
But it comes to a point. Where you got to even draw a line to that, because you know, if like I know from personal experience, if I'm born to a parent, you know, but another grandparent don't like me because I was born to that parent. You see what I'm saying? You know, the white man ain't necessarily got to have nothing to do with that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Or because that grandparent treats you like crap because they don't like one of your parents, or they didn't raise your parent right. You see what I'm saying? White man ain't got nothing to do with that. But y'all want to put some cousins who can't get along with each other, hate each other's guts to even where they killing each other. Man, I used to listen. Years ago, I used to hear Crips killing their own relatives out there in California over gang set tripping. Over gang set tripping. Whether they realized it was their own relative or not, they actually were killing each other. Blood relatives killing each other over gang set tripping. Would the white man got something to do with that too?
Always.
I'm just saying.
Like you say, I mean, you can only do that for a certain period of time.
Right.
Some of us don't even have. Some of us never even had interaction with white people like that.
Right.
I know me. Most of the people that I grew up around was black. I never really grew up and never had a real connection with white people like that. So, you know, it's just some fantasy, delusional crap.
Listen, let me tell you something. Go ahead, bro. Let me tell you something. I know from personal experience that if a nigga disrespected me any kind of way in front of a certain blood relative, that certain blood relative wouldn't say a word or do nothing. Usually you get blood relative. What you say to my family? What you say to my relative? What you say to my peoples, nigga? What's up? You got that. that exists amongst the so-called black family. Matter of fact, they even use a Negro from the streets to help set you up and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done.
I know it's been
done. But the white man always got to have something to do with that, right? The white man got something to do with that, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Out of date crap. I can't do that no more. That's
exactly right.
So he says, Yanga goes ahead and he tells me that what he's talking about, it comes from history. But see, we know that history and science is in the eyes of the beholder. You can take history and science and make it and spin it and turn it any kind of way that you want to. Because you can take history that will support what Yanga talk about, and another person would take history and show that what Yanga talking about is a bunch of bull doo-doo. So you can take history and spin it any kind of way. And history is biased and prejudiced anyway, because a lot of our history, we was not there. So since we was not there, you are taking the word of the person who wrote that history, who is behind that science, and human beings are biased, they are prejudiced, they are racist, they have their own personal agendas when they write history. Because I can guarantee you that the Japanese version of World War II is much different than what we are taught in America about World War II. I can guarantee you it's in the eye of the beholder. And remember, Japan lost. So you know they're going to tell it, the story to favor them. And of course, America tells the story to favor themselves. One day, when we become real human beings and people stop tripping off black, white, and African and Asian China, historians can really come together and put these stories to the best of their ability and tell the truth of World War II, Kemet, and all this. But right now, all these stories that we hear is a bunch of fabricated garbage. And you would have to do these histories like what we do in court, because none of us was at the crime scene. So in order for us to try to get the truth about what happened at the crime scene, you take all the evidence and witness testimony and try to figure out what's similar and what makes sense to try to come out at the truth. That's the best thing that we can do, because we wasn't there. And unfortunately, in courtrooms, a lot of innocent people still end up in prison. Innocent people go to jail and prison. Also, you mean to tell me women have been on this planet with men all this time, and you mean to tell me that women basically haven't done nothing in history? Because when we read history, it's all about what men did. Men did this. Women just sit back in the cut. I hope they don't go to war. I'm so scared. You know, that's all women ever done throughout all human history. Women haven't done nothing. But just the same way, I'm saying, the same way that men or the white man try to write out black people or melanated people out of history, I'm saying that the male gender, period, wrote women out of history. That's what I'm saying. Early in YouTube, there was a bunch of women on YouTube. They used to go out and they did their research and they got their information and showed how women was leaders, and actually queen was higher than king at one time. So how was all these men doing all this stuff when the queens was running stuff? But we're not taught that. It's always, when they talk about royalty, they always use king first. You know, we kings and queens. No, it was queens and kings. King was second to the queen. You know, we don't.
According to the teachings, the so-called teachings of Nuwabu that was taught by Dr. Malachi Z. York, that I once studied under, that in the Native American culture, the woman was the head of the household. Mm. But the narrative in contemporary history is that the man has always been the head of the household. And then on top of that, I want to also say this too, is that if it wouldn't have been for Sister Winnie Mandela, may she rest in peace.
Yes.
Nelson Mandela may have not have gotten out of prison, and apartheid, as we knew it back in them days, would have not have came to an end. We could contribute that to Winnie Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse my French, because I don't like to cuss and I don't use cuss. And fuck Nelson Mandela on that note. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I can't say F Nelson Mandela.
Well, I don't mean F him in terms of I mean, he did play a figurative part in the history of the struggle of oppressed peoples. But the truth of the matter was, if it wasn't for his wife, who he messed around on, and married another African, once he got in power over there in South Africa, if it wasn't for her, he would have not been released from prison, like I said.
Right.
Because she was the catalyst behind them getting behind freeing him. Yeah. As well as leading to apartheid no longer being the law of the land over there in South Africa. That's all I was saying.
Right.
But
I want to say this. He was actually in a prison where they had to break rocks every day. I don't know what the purpose of it is, I guess just for punishment. Yeah. And he was there for 27 years. Can you imagine? Now, I was locked up for 10 straight ones. And really, I was living in a lab of luxury. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I wasn't breaking no damn rocks. I'm not making any excuses for him, but I can understand what happened to Nelson Mandela. After 27 years of breaking rocks, he's a broken man. So when he comes out of that prison, whatever relationship he had with his wife, Winnie, that was broken. That was broken. It's no longer, actually, you know, you have that connection with your loved one for a certain period of time. But after 27 years, he don't even know her like that no more. And he messed around and fell in love with somebody else. And he's a broken person. You can't expect this man. He was, what, in his 20s or whatever when he first went into that prison, or however, he was a very young person. After 27
his 30s, years, I think.
He was in his 30s? Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around
there. You can't expect this man who had, like even me, I don't have the energy that I used to have when I was 18, 19 years old. I wish I did. I don't have it no more. This man spent 27 years breaking rocks. The only thing he want to do is get out, try to enjoy his life, and die. That's the only thing on his mind. You can't expect him to be rebellious, and that person that went into that prison don't exist no more. It's over.
And you know, I want to say this in reference to what you just said, behind the reference what you just said with that, because Martin Luther King Jr. on the equivalent side of things. First of all, here's a man who did not want to become a leader. He was picked and chosen. Okay. And I mean, people just kept pushing it, plucking at him with it. You know what I'm saying? And so you got a man, he comes from a Baptist background, a Baptist ministry background. Okay, this man is just trying to live his life, raise his family, and da-da-da. Okay. What the hell do you expect from somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Georgia born, raised Baptist minister preacher. You know what I'm saying? And expect for him to become a revolutionary radical. You know, like male, whatever that guy's name in China was, you know,
Right.
you expect him to become something like that, or Ho Chi Minh or somebody out of Vietnam, you know, you expect him to become something like that under circumstances like that, where the man only did what he could out of his knowledge and his understanding of things. He only did what he could out of his knowledge and understanding of things. And yeah, I know the thing about him, man. If you know the rumors or the talks about him allegedly, you know, being with a white woman, and even if it was, you know, so what? That's that man's business. It was said Malcolm X was sleeping in bed with white women. Not prior to him joining the nation, but even after he left the nation. Because you know him and Betty Shabazz had problems in their relationship too. A lot of people don't know about it, but that's a whole nother thing in itself. Okay. But I mean, you know, hell, it was even said that, I think it was said Nat Turner was in bed with a white woman.
Yeah, he liked the rumor, or the new narrative is that he had a crush on the daughter of the slave master. One of the
yeah. So I mean, what difference? I mean, really, what difference do it make? Hell, Angela Davis, one of our most recent ancestors, still around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's married, I believe, to a white man today. So
yeah. So
and still running around advocating for black rights in this country. Right. Y'all ain't got nothing to say about that, right? Or even if she is LGBT, so damn what? That's her business too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the brother that used to be an advisor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was LGBT. But he helped got things done. Right. If it wasn't for Martin Luther King wouldn't have been able to successfully do certain things without his advice. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, when you go to talking like this about our leaders, and you see everybody else chiming in on social media from all different walks of life and other races and cultures, especially that don't like our ass. The first thing in their mind, they go back to the table and say, well, these niggas can't even agree on what leaders they like in their own race or not. or they don't even support their own leaders, dead or alive. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You leave open vacuum for people outside of our group to look at us a certain way when you go to talking reckless like that on social media. You don't hear Donald Trump supporters, his white supporters at least, getting on there talking crazy about him, even if some of them disagree. Because I know for a fact that some of his supporters disagree with certain things he done, but they ain't gonna get out there in the public like on social media and talk about it. That ain't how white folks do things when it come to each other. That ain't how Hispanics do things when it come to each other. You know what I'm saying? We are the only ones on YouTube and social media that get out there and broadly. I mean, listen, man, I be looking at these YouTube channels, they even dragging black folks in it from the UK.
Yeah,
black
right.
people over there, you know, that had their own problems and struggles on the other side of the pond. You see what I'm saying? Dragging them off into art, you know, and they don't know a lick about what's going on over here in Black America like that. You know, you dragging all these other, until we get our house first, we don't need to worry about dragging other people off in our business like that. They got their own problems over in the UK, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Black people in France got their own problems over there. Or anywhere else in Europe that they're located at. Just like in Africa. They got their own problems over there. We don't need to be worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, when it all come down to it, they gonna benefit off of our stupidity as Black people in America, like everybody else has been doing.
Absolutely.
You know, y'all got Hollywood and switched up on Black people so bad where they got Africans, you know, doing characterizations of Martin Luther King and other famous people from among us, when it need to be a Black American actor doing that. You see what I'm saying? To show you how much even Black immigrants benefit off our struggle. Like we don't even exist in the picture no more. You see what I'm saying? Y'all not paying, y'all need to be y'all gonna speak on Black immigrants, speak on them that way about how they benefiting off us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't even be in this country. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't even be over here. You remember before the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s, they wasn't letting foreign Blacks in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fact. Blacks to immigrate from other foreign countries to America. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, and if they did get over here, trust me, it was rare. It was very rare. But it wasn't that many coming over here like that, because they made sure that we did not have no connection with them, and they made sure they didn't have no connection with us, especially during that period of time. You know, and I mean, we have to understand these things, that we're just so caught up in this pettiness right now.
Yeah.
That's why I said earlier, we don't have time to be, you know, worried about who the enemy among us or who opinions we agree with and don't agree with. We ain't right now. It's not the time for that. That's just the honest truth of the matter. It don't get no honest than that. Whether you agree with it or not, it don't get no honest than that. Because at the end of the day, the moment you walk out your house or your apartment, one of the race soldiers subject to blow your head off because you the nigger word, or stop you on some fake ass traffic violation or something, or stop you, you know what I'm saying, and try to you know, pin some false evidence on you, which you see many of our brothers and sisters is languishing in prison around the country over today. See, you know, you're not looking at these things. We talking about serious things that affect us day in and day out. That you know, I mean, and no disrespect or shots at people that do things in our community, like serve food, help the homeless. You know, that's a good thing. We need more of that. We need more Black people helping us, each other. And much as them organizations is getting out of our people, they need to be putting that money like that back into our community.
Yes.
You know, we shouldn't have to go to no white churches or bread soup kitchen lines. We should go to the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple, these other Black organizations, especially since you claim you into the how to eat, live, you know, you so interested in our people's health, you know, you should set up soup kitchens, you know, where our people all over the country could go to every day and eat at, you know. So no, it's not taking no shots at that at all. I'm not taking no kind of shots at that, period. Matter of fact, I love that type of stuff. Okay, but my thing is is that's on a small scale level. You know what I'm saying? We need to be trying to get up out of our situation over broadly.
Right.
You know, to where we're no longer under the thumb, the iron fist of an oppressor. That's what we need to be worried and concentrating about. Getting on these debate podcasts and all that, arguing over different knowledge. All that don't make nothing. They don't care if you Kemetic. They don't care if you African. They don't care if you Muslim, Christian, Hebrew, or even if you just an atheist or an agnostic. They don't care nothing about none of that. They will blow your head off because they see the nigger word. And this is what we've been trying to tell you from this campaign platform for the last 4 nearly years. These people don't care nothing about that.
Nope.
Look at this. Look at the condition that we're in right now as a people in this country. That lady that lady in Minnesota that just got convicted of killing that young brother only got 2 years. Manslaughter, 2 years. Yeah, that's worse than that Caucasian cop got for shooting that brother Laquan McDonald in Chicago 16 times. He got 4 and now she got 2. You know, we are up under people that do not value our lives like that. You see what I'm saying? And while we out here, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other, you know, stabbing each other in the back constantly, you only open up the doors to make the enemy want to hate us worse because of that. Because that gives them justification to feel like, well, hell, they don't care about their own lives. Why should we care about them niggas like that? And that's just the reality of it. Ain't nobody gonna respect you as a people until you respect yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's just the fact of the whole situation of what we're faced with, you know. And I mean, you know, the reality of the situation is that we don't have no power. They want to turn our lights and water off right now. What we gonna do about it?
Can't do
nothing. We ain't in no position to stop that. They want to turn our gas off. What we gonna do about it? We ain't in no position to stop that. But I yield back over to the brother. I just wanted to just throw that in there because that's the
importance. Yeah. That's the importance of having something like Mississippi Campaign. It's so that you can have an alternative. We have no alternative. We have no power. You keep talking about Africa. Africa ain't giving us nothing. Africa has all these resources and all this land, ain't giving you nothing. They would take from you. They ain't giving you nothing. The Mississippi Campaign is very, very simple. The only thing we've done is bring an activity that our ancestors was doing up to date and put a name on it. There was no name on it. Our ancestors came from out of slavery. They began to do for themselves. They started their farms. They were sharecropping. They were holding political office. They were starting their own businesses. That's what they were doing straight out of slavery. And had they, again, been left alone, there would be no need for a Mississippi Campaign because we would already be, our ancestors would already put us in those positions a long, long time ago. And of course, you would think they would, once in these positions, you would think they would look out for themselves because that's what they was doing. They didn't have no choice. The white people ostracized them. Don't stay away. So they had to do things and put themselves in positions to help one another. And that's all Mississippi Campaign is about. It's very simple. You want to make it a Pan-African thing. You want to make a religion out of struggle. There is no religion. Liberation and revolution is not a religion. There is no, you are homosexual, you poor, you too black. That's not what liberation of oppressed people. Nobody tripping off that stuff. That's what people trip on once they gain their liberation. Then they start arguing and debating over these type of things. I can guarantee you, when you're in jail and you really want to get out, if you really want to get out of jail, you don't care who that person is. How you gonna get out, man? Yeah, I hate your guts. I don't like you. But how you gonna get out? You think it's gonna work if you really want to get out of jail? And there are people who have got out of jail, they didn't give a damn who it was. It ain't about, do I like you or not? It's about, I want to get out of jail. You do not want to get out of this jail. These Pan-Africans, these black nationalists, these black revolutionaries, you actually like the jail. Why don't you just go ahead and admit it? Because you don't fool me none. Your actions speak louder than words. I don't give a damn. You can huff and puff until you blow the White House down. Don't mean nothing. Your actions show that you like and you're comfortable in what you're doing. You've been talking this stuff for over 100 years, and you haven't gained and did a damn thing. You're comfortable just like the Uncle Toms and the Coons and all these Sambos and all these people you call names. You ain't no damn better than they are. And we talked about that earlier.
And hey, it's getting kind of dark. Hey.
See, look, the Mississippi campaign is just the beginning. You can't, a baby don't come out the womb walking and eating meat. Baby come out the womb looking for breast milk and crawling. You want to come out the womb as a grown-ass person. See, that's what gets me about these Pan-Africans and this black nationalism revolution. They want to come out the mama's womb a full grown-ass man. That's not how things work. You don't have nothing to be a full-grown man or a grown woman coming out the womb. You got to start from somewhere. And it's about what you want. It's not about what you want, y'all selfish ass. It's about what is in the best interest of your future generations and what is the best road to get them there. Because as far as we're concerned, we're damaged goods. The only thing our lives is worth is putting our people in a better position, and we're going to be the sacrificial lamb. That's what our role is, being the sacrificial lamb so that the future generations can do better. So the Mississippi, once you accomplish that, that will be the heart. And when you're looking at the development of the human body, one of the first things that develop in the womb is the brain and the heart. The brain and the heart, they are called vital organs. So you're going to form Mississippi so that it can be the heart, it can be the vital organ, so that the whole mechanism, the whole organism can live. But then, of course, y'all silly. Why it's got to be Mississippi? How come it can't be this? How can you're so silly and so corny? You're not looking at the benefits. You're not looking at the whole broad picture because, again, you're nothing but the child trying to put a square peg in a round hole. But again, I'm not frustrated or disappointed at your behaviors, because the only thing you keep talking about this Kemet stuff, you keep talking about all this freedom stuff. And how can you even relate to Kemet? Those people wasn't slaves for 400 years. How can you even relate to all these people that you relate to? They never were slaves. Your ancestors, you was a damn slave in this country over 300, and you're still basically a slave right now to this day, going on 500 years. You can't even relate. That's why you don't understand Angel Snub Number 7. You can't understand the Reality's Temple. You don't understand the Mississippi campaign because you don't understand your own ancestors because they was behaving like free people. And the only thing you want to do is find another slave plantation to dump your happy ass on and chill out. That's not freedom. That's not what freedom is. You keep talking about Africa. What if one of the African nations gave you enough land, big as the state of Delaware or Rhode Island? Here is your country, here's your land, but you got to be the one. You got to clear all the trees. You got to put in all the roads. You got to live in a mud hut until you're able to build your own. Are you ready for freedom? Because that's what freedom really is. Because when these people came to this country, there was no skyscrapers. There was no Facebook. There was no YouTube. Those people came from Europe and had to build everything. What these black revolutionaries and black nationalists want, they want a ready-made nation and call yourself free. That ain't how it works, y'all. That's not work. You have to be open to a new mindset. You have to be open to a new strategy. And I think also that we're scared of the enemy. Just like Brother Taalik was talking about the Haitians. The Haitians took on the greatest world power at that time. When you look at martial arts, any of you who are familiar with martial arts, and you are facing with an enemy that's strong, that's what the purpose of martial arts is about. The purpose of martial arts is to train you about the weak points in your enemy, how to use your enemy's strength against him. Did you hear what I said? That's what the Mississippi campaign is about. Finding the weak points in your enemy and use that against them. You don't understand that concept. You and I both know you cannot take on this power man to man. And plus, y'all don't even have the heart. Because if you really had the heart, let's get our people together and let's do it. Let's do it. Plus, the majority of the people in the country, you don't even know black people. Black people not interested in no black revolution. They're not interested. And why should they? They have nothing to fight for. They have nothing to fight for. They don't know what freedom is. They don't have a state like Mississippi that they built to fight for. They don't have nothing to fight for. So what is this revolution about? What is they fighting for about? They don't have nothing to fight for. And you're not going to do nothing either. You're going to sit on your ass. You're not going to do nothing either because you already know it's a hopeless cause. Because your people not interested, and you don't know. You're living in 1930. You're living in a past that no longer exists. What can you do to inspire the people to fight for something? If they had a state like Mississippi, that's ours. And they are proud of that. We sacrificed. And some of us died to get this. I'm willing to fight for that. That will make your people, especially the younger people, rise up. I'm ready to do whatever necessary to fight for my nation. Go ahead, Brother Taalik.
I just wanted to point out something that reference to what you just said before, that a lot of our black revolutionary nationalists who have just recently gotten out of prison, like the Angola 3, and some others who had just gotten recently out of prison, was at the hands or at the aid and hand of white people, mostly. You know, I know a brother just did 43 years in the Missouri State Penitentiary for a crime he didn't commit, you know, and you know, you got a lot of black people over there in Missouri, you know, between Kansas City and St. Louis that could have rallied and helped got him out. But it took him 4 decades, you know what I'm saying, to get out of prison over a false accusation that got him put in prison. You see what I'm saying? Now that man out of prison in a wheelchair and walk, can't do nothing. He got to have extra help to do something. But it was at the help mostly of white people that helped got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? All these other black people you talking about like that. This one black brother went to prison, I think in the mid 70s, like in 76, over accusations and by a white woman accusing him of raping her, and he got out about a year or two ago. It was with the help of white people. You see what I'm saying? You find most of these blacks that did a lot of time in prison I'm talking about even way back to 50 or 40 some years or whatever. And people that was in the streets rallying for their freedom majority were white people. Maybe the only reason we see black people to some extent, not all, because you got a lot of white people that's still behind trying to get Mumia Abu Jamal freed. But the only reason you got black people because you got sisters like Ramona Africa of the John Africa movement, and that's also helping to push him. You know what I'm saying? To get free from prison. You know, they already helped him, to get from up under that death penalty sentence he had, but they trying to get him up out of there now because he just doing a life sentence. But you don't see that many black people around the world. You got even black people white folks over in Europe. They named streets after him. That's trying to help him get out of prison. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's like like Sandiata Akali. You done forgot about him. I don't even see that many black nationalists out there in the streets trying to push for Sister Assata Shakur to be exonerated.
Right.
So she can be able to come back to the United States without worrying about going back to prison over here in this country. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, when you talk all this crap about black nationalism and stuff, where's your love at for those that died or went to prison in the name of black nationalism?
Absolutely.
If it wouldn't have been for them white folks, them 3 brothers would have died in Louisiana State Penitentiary. Matter of fact, I think it was 2 of them that died recently. I don't know. I'm not for sure, but I know one is still alive. All the rest of them did just die.
What is it they say when you join the Marines? There's a saying in the Marines: never leave a soldier behind, something to that effect.
Yeah, exactly.
We've left.
Yeah, and they left the soldiers.
Yeah. We
left many of them behind. And who is most of their lawyers? Most of their lawyers ain't black. Most of their lawyers is white.
I know.
Maybe for exception, few like Geronimo Jigga Pratt, may that brother rest in peace. Johnny Cochran was his lawyer, and stuff like that. But other than that, the rest of most of them had white lawyers or white organizations like the Innocence Project that helped got them released from the penitentiary.
I believe Malcolm X. One of his lawyers was a white guy. One of his lawyers. And this is another thing.
Malcolm X?
Yeah, he had a white lawyer that was working, helping him do whatever.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, because I think, I have to say I think because I really don't remember watching Omar Shabazz production movie. I think it was in one of his documentaries. It was this Caucasian guy. Matter of fact, he might even be a Jew that was helping Malcolm X do some things.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was getting on my case when I told my story. If you don't like it, then that's your problem. It was Caucasian people that helped me get out of that nut house. Yes, it was Caucasian people that put me in there because of a Negro. That was the root of it. And it was a Negro that came to court every other year to testify. I'm so scared. Don't let him out. I'm scared. Angel gonna kill me. And now his ass in an Arizona prison, and he might be going to death row. Liar.
Oh, he already in the penitentiary?
Yeah, talk about Anthony Ross.
You say he in in prison now? Did they find him guilty yet?
I don't know. I think he might still be sitting in ordinary jail. I haven't heard no more on the case.
Oh, okay.
But he's going to prison He's going to go to prison. He's not going to get. I doubt if he's not going to get out of this one. He killed three. He killed 3 people and a baby, an infant. But he was the one they was protecting. They protected this killer, this murderer.
Right.
Okay. So I'm telling my story. The black people in that facility wasn't trying to get out, just like you. You don't want to go nowhere anyway. You like things just the way they are. Whether you're a black nationalist, black revolutionary, whatever the hell you are, you ain't trying to get out and go nowhere either. You're just a big talk. I heard, see, that stuff don't impress me. I've heard it for over 45 years. You know, they talking all that black tough stuff. That don't impress me. I done heard it. I was in the Nation of Islam, but I heard it from all kinds of places. I know about I know how black nationalists talk and black revolutionaries and the Pan-Africans. I've been to all those kind of meetings, the Hebrew Israelite meetings, and they'd be talking all this stuff, whatever. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of house Negroes just like everybody else. You're a black power house Negro. You're a black nationalist Uncle Tom.
Might as well just hold your podcasts every Sunday like the preacher get behind the podium and hold their sermons every Sunday.
Start your sermons at 10:30 and do your Sunday school, and then the preacher come up like they do in church.
Right.
No damn different, same stuff. Hours and hours of live stream. What the hell y'all talking about? 5 hours, 8 hours of live stream. What the hell the Negroes talking about? Almost every day. They do this almost every day. And Yanga, they don't want to give nobody no credit. Oh, well, I understand what the Mississippi campaign, what you're talking about. It's already been done. We done that. Well, where's your state at? Yanga said he been doing his thing since 1968. Well, where you state at? Since you've been doing this since 1968, where you state at? Where your neighborhood?
Hey, did you invite the brother to come on the panel today?
I sent them email just the same time when I sent you the email.
Oh, okay. All right.
I also invited Brother Daniel and some other people. And you see, it's just you and me.
Okay.
And that's fine, because you didn't have nothing coming anyway. I'm not going to let you come here with your black nationalist bullshit here. Your daydreaming, your pipe dream, your Pan-African garbage. No, you're not going to come here, because your stuff is not going to get off in this audience. We're not going for that nonsense. 100 years of crap. See, that's the thing they ignore. You've had 100 years, and hell, I've been around for 45. You got 100 years under your belt and have accomplished nothing. You keep talking about Marcus Garvey, and Marcus Garvey don't have nothing. Where is the UNIA? You bragging about 2 million, 6 million people. And what do you have in 2022? You don't have a pot to piss in. That ain't nothing to brag about when you're a damn loser. Nation of Islam is a loser. We all lost. They don't want to hear that. That's the reality of it. You're a bunch of losers. Then you want to come here and talk about your daycare center that you opened up and your lemonade stand. And that ain't nothing but some tiddlywink. Our people fresh from the slave plantation was doing that stuff. They want you to give them a cookie for doing nothing. We don't do that here. You get your credit when you earn it. Then they talk about I'm a separatist. I'm a black national. I'm for separation. Well, why your ass ain't separated yet? Most of these people don't even live in the hood. They live in a multicultural hood or whatever, neighborhood. They don't live separate from no damn body. And let me tell you something about integration. As long as you live in America, you're integrated. Brother Taalik was talking about a group of people. They bought a little acre of land and they're going to do their own thing. You're still integrated. The only way you're going to be separated is your happy ass leave America.
Yep.
Then you're separated. As long as you're here, whether you are in your own little separate neighborhood or whatever. No, what it is, you can pull segregation if you want. But still, segregation really is integration. The thing about it is the people you segregated don't want nothing to do with your happy ass. But you're still integrated and you're still part of this society. You're still going to use the money that we use. You're still going to use the electricity that we use. You're still going to drink the same damn water. You are integrated. Dumbass.
Hey, brother Taalik, I know you don't agree with this idea, but those people, those so black people that have already left America in the thousands, whether they done went to Africa, Asia, Europe, South America, even some in Mexico, I'm gonna tell you something. Even with them, they are more separated from this racist because they don't have to put up with the shit we still got to put up with here in this country.
Right. But my thing is
referencing your point.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, you run to Africa, you run to Europe, and you run. Yeah. You run like you Flojo or some damn body. You run. Oh, then you do it from one plantation to another. You still don't run and control nothing. So what?
So don't you not asking none of them governments to give our people no plot of land to where we can occupy among the 40+ million of us in this country. You know, I see all them brothers and sisters carrying they behind over to Africa, but they not asking them governments to give us none of that land to come to over there to resettle on.
Right.
Whether you in Europe or even in Asia.
One plantation to another, big deal, and they act like they really doing something. I'm not in America no more. I'm in Japan. I'm in Africa some damn where. You ain't nothing but a slave. You still dominated. You still dominated. You still dominated under the laws of another man.
Yep. And you better know that America influences those countries. And you better know America influences those countries that you're going to anyway.
Yeah, most of them, yeah. Like Japan, we know Japan is in bed, don't have no choice, you know, because of that truce or whatever that they had after the World War II. You know, Japan is you know, in the palms of America. And a lot of those African countries are in the hands of some European country.
Or America. Even in South America.
Even in South America.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be impressed because you ran to another. What difference do it make? One thing you did was run away from Massa John plantation to Massa Tom plantation. That's the only thing your happy ass did. You know, if you're a man, you want your own. Make your own.
And this is my thing. On the flip coin side, why would you want to go backwards and go to Europe when it's the same thing here in America? The reason they ain't treating your ass like a dog over there in England and France and Germany is because you got that U.S. passport.
Yeah.
But if you was like one of them African immigrants over there from one of them former countries in the continent where they used to colonize, you would be getting pulled over, gunned down by one of the race soldiers over there in France or England. I hear about it all the time because I've talked to people that have been to Europe or people that know about going to the countries over there. They say the only reason they don't treat Black Americans a certain way is because their U.S. passport protect them. to a certain extent.
Yeah.
That
right.
U.S. passport protects you to a certain extent. When you show them that U.S. passport, okay, we see you look like one of them Africans or one of them people from the Caribbean coming over here, but we gonna back up a little bit because we see that U.S. passport. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother. I just want to throw that in there, just for those who think they free because they leave in America.
Absolutely. I got a few more little notes here. I think I can make it really brief, brother Taalik. I want you to either take note or either just hold on and give your piggyback off what I say. I'm going to be real brief. I'm going to go through these last notes real quick. I'm not into having no 5 hour, 6 hour. It ain't even that serious. But when you are in this country and you always go into the people or the powers that be, what gets me is that they talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden ain't doing this for black people. Joe Biden ain't doing. We as a people, I'm not talking about a certain group. First of all, one of the things that we really need to do is become a people, because we're not a people. Everybody's in their little separate tribe. The Black Nationalist tribe, the Black Revolutionary tribe, the Kemetic tribe. We are not a people. So Joe Biden don't even know who the hell am I talking to? Because we know that the Congress people that's in government, they don't represent a lot of us. They just so happen that they are black and they in Congress or whatever. They don't represent black people. Matter of fact, you asking these Congress people and you're asking the president of the United States, y'all don't do nothing for black people. What is it that the black people want? What is your agenda? And make it an agenda where you go before the people and you get BET, TV One, or social media. You bring this agenda to the people and say, we as black people, this is what we want. And then what they have that, I forgot what they have. They got some kind of thing that you can sign and people can sign it. And what they say, majority rule. If you don't want to participate, that's your damn business. But majority rule, we sign this thing and we agree this is the agenda and this is what black people want. And then we give it to Joe Biden. We give it to the Congress people. This is what black people want. That's how you do it. Right now, you have nothing to offer. Joe Biden don't know he don't even know what to call you. Are you an African American or y'all black? What the hell are you? Some of y'all say are you a Moor? What the hell are you? Joe Biden and all these people don't even know what the hell to call us because we're identity confused. What the hell are you? And you don't have an agenda. What do you want from me? And then the next thing is, what are you going to give me? Because when you talk about all these other groups, they give lots and lots of money to the president, senators, mayors. They give lots of, you don't want to give nobody nothing except your preachers. And your preachers can't do a damn thing for you. And that's just the political system in this country. What they say, one hand washes the other or something to that effect. Now they can't accept a bribe. But I can certainly embrace a political donation. Money talks. What they said, money talks, bullshit walks. We don't want to play the political system for what it really is. I'm going to make these other notes real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over. You keeping up with me, Taalik?
Oh, yeah, I got you, brother. I got you.
Okay, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. We're not going to be here for no 4 or 5 hours. Well, we already on the 4th hour. We're going to make this real quick. I'm not going over 5 hours. We might do it a little bit long because who knows when I'm going to go back live again. It ain't that serious. Okay. Look, one of their heroes, the Black nationalist heroes, is Malcolm X. Also Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey. Why do they like Malcolm X? Why do they like Marcus Garvey and some of these other people? And it was a brother, I was familiar with him, that Yanga was talking about. I was familiar with him, but I figured he's dead. Then I looked him up on social media, on Google. He's dead. The only people they follow is dead folks. And they give living people hell. They find a reason not to like living people.
I think it was Khalid he was talking about.
No, he was talking about somebody from the 1800s or something like that.
Oh, okay. I know who you talking about. Martin Delaney.
Yeah.
Martin Delaney.
Yeah, I had heard of Martin Delaney, but I wasn't familiar with him, and I looked him up. But I already figured he probably dead. Because these people don't mess with nobody that's alive. So I went and looked him up. Martin Delaney is dead. Not only is he dead, he's been dead a long time. I'm like, is there anybody living? I mean, that's all these people do. Follow dead folks. I guarantee you, if Marcus Garvey, if Malcolm X, all these people was alive, they'll find some reason not to like them. Because that's just human beings. That's just how we are. And did you know that Malcolm X farted? Did you know that Marcus Garvey took a dump? They were nothing but human beings. Do you know Elijah Muhammad probably had bad breath? They're nothing but human beings. Now, we know how Elijah Muhammad was rolling. What if Elijah Muhammad wanted your daughter? Would you feel the same about him? Oh, that's somebody else's daughter. What if Elijah Muhammad was making babies with your daughter? What if you was buying stock in those ships that Marcus Garvey was selling, and you found out those ships was pieces of junk? See, we make up this fantasy stuff because these people are dead. That's history, and we make up these fairy tale fantasy stories for ourselves. The same way that they believe in Jesus. So what makes you any different? Jesus is dead, Malcolm is dead, Marcus is dead, Martin Delaney is dead. All these folks is dead. Y'all follow the dead. That's why you're spiritual. Because that's what spirituality is about. Spirituality.
It's called worshiping the ancestors.
Yeah. Worshiping dead folks. And if you notice, their ancestors didn't do a damn thing for them. So what make you think your ancestors going to do something for you when their ancestors didn't do a damn thing for them either? But Malcolm X is one of their heroes. But again, to my knowledge, Malcolm X had a Caucasian attorney that he worked with. Also, Malcolm X said this. Malcolm said, I apologize for the names and the bad things that I said about these civil rights leaders. I apologize. I'm willing to work with anybody that want to work for what is in the best interest of Black people. You never hear them say that about Malcolm. Didn't Malcolm say that, Brother Taalik?
Yep.
He said, I apologize to Dr. King. I apologize to those I call Coon and Uncle Tom. I apologize for that. I'm willing to work with anybody, willing to do anything to help our people move forward. That's what Malcolm X said. And you calling people Coons and Uncle Tom right now. And Malcolm apologized for it. You dumb idiots. Then one of their heroes, I believe, is Harriet Tubman. But Harriet Tubman said one of her best friends was John Brown, the abolitionist. And John Brown got more spunk than any of you Negroes. John Brown and his family took over an armory to get guns. Let's go to war. And it wasn't John Brown, the white man, that backed off. It was the slaves. It was the black people that didn't want to pick up the gun. What we gonna do with them guns? And got John Brown all caught up and got John Brown hanged because the slaves were too damn scared, didn't want to fight for their own freedom. That's why we say here, I'd be damned if we do that. I'm not John Brown. Taalik was not John Brown. The people, brothers and sisters here at Reality's Temple, we're not going to give our lives. We're not going to do that for you. We're not going to do that. And this is another thing. They always talk about the house Negro. They act like the house Negro had a good life. The house Negro was closer to the massa. They probably went through more psychological abuse than the field Negro, because the field Negro didn't have that much contact like the house Negro. The house Negro had to be around massa 24 hours a day. Like, damn. What make you think that being a house Negro was good, was a good thing? No. Of course, anybody in their right mind wants to live as comfortable as they can. And that's what we have right now today. Are you a house Negro, or are you just trying to survive? I don't know. We always calling people house Negro. And there are people who are in love with the oppressor, in love with the enemy. But again, it's no different than your dog Scruffy. It's all that they know. How you gonna get angry at somebody? It's all that they know. And then some of you think somebody is a sellout. It's about survival. It's about what is in my best interest. Why should Oprah Winfrey? Why should Will Smith? Why should Jada Pinkett Smith? Why should Janet Jackson? Why should any of our people with influence and money, why should any of them gamble what they have for Negroes? And then you turn on them. Oh man, it was a story. It was a story about brother. Shout out to Omar Shabazz Productions. That documentary, Malcolm X.
Talking about Sam Cooke?
No, there was a brother. He was, I think, what was he? This happened during the Farrakhan era. There was a basketball player, and they don't talk about this, and I barely remember it. But Omar Shabazz got it in his documentary. There was a basketball player in the 80s, I believe, or early 90s. He thought that Minister Farrakhan had his back. And he stood, I support the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. And it was a basketball player. I believe he was a basketball player. And he supported Minister Farrakhan. And then he started taking heat because he supported Minister Farrakhan. And when he started taking heat, Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam backed off and left him out there all by himself. All by himself. And don't say, well, that was during the Farrakhan administration. Elijah Muhammad was no different. There was a brother named Joe Tex. You remember a brother named Joe Tex? He was a singer too?
Yes, yes, yes.
You know Joe Tex was a member of the Nation of Islam. You know that too, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Joe Tex was assigned to be the fundraiser, the chief executive officer in fundraising for the so-called Nation of Islam hospital. So he started raising money, using his fame as a singer and whatever to raise money for that hospital. Them Negroes blew all the hospital money and left, and you know, they left him out there by himself. His career, his music career was messed up. He was having a hard time supporting himself after all that. People didn't trust him no more because what happened to all that hospital money?
Who you talking about, Joe Tex?
Joe Tex.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you because it was static going in and out, but yeah.
Yeah. And they left him high and dry too, Joe Tex. And that was under the Elijah Muhammad administration. And you know how they did Muhammad Ali. When the government came on him about that draft dodging, they left him out there in the water.
Yeah, they don't talk about that too much.
No, they don't talk about that at all. And
matter of fact, all they got to do is go watch that movie Will Smith made years ago, that Ali movie. They'll see some of that in there.
Yeah, it was Joe Frazier that actually helped Muhammad Ali during that period of time.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali was so stupid and brainwashed by that religious garbage. When he got on his feet, he went right back to him. And then he called Joe Frazier a monkey or ape or something like that. When they did that,
that man the one that kept food on his table too.
Sure did. That made me feel some kind, because I like Muhammad Ali, but when I heard him call him a monkey or an ape, Joe Frazier, that rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like that. We need to stop all this name calling crap, because when it's all said and done, you don't have a pot to piss in. You ain't no damn better than no Uncle Tom, no Coon, or nothing like that. We heard at the beginning earlier, we heard Jesse Lee Peterson talk to this brother about why black people need to get off their ass and do something, whatever. I don't know if you heard that part of the video in the early broadcast. You wasn't here yet. But see, the reason why Jesse Lee Peterson and Candace Owens and some of these other people, they can talk the way they talk, and they justified in talking the way they talk, because the black nationalists, all y'all black power stuff, you give them the ammunition. You haven't done nothing. You take millions and thousands and millions of dollars every year, no different than the preachers do, and you produce nothing. And you keep blaming the white man, blah, blah, blah. So Jesse Lee Peterson has good points, and a lot of these people have good points. And the only thing you can do, like a little baby, and put your thumb in your mouth, you a coon, you a Sambo, like a little child, you can't produce nothing.
You even give Cynthia G ammunition.
Yeah. Yeah, they give all these people ammunition. I guarantee you, if you had something like the Mississippi campaign under your belt, where you controlling a state and running things, I bet you only thing they could do is sit back in the cut and hope that you fail, but there ain't too much else they can say about you. Like, what can they say about you? You control a state. Everything about the state is you. If we don't do nothing big, we might as well not do nothing at all. I hear what you say about your little business and your little farmland and all these little personal tiddlywink stuff, because it's what it is. It's not for black people. Because if it's for black people, then put my name on the title. Give me my stock if it's for black people. No, it's for you and your happy ass, hungry ass family. That's who it's for. It ain't for black people. Your black business is for you and your hungry ass kids. Matter of fact, why are you a black nationalist? Why are you a black revolutionary having children living with your oppressor? I think it costs almost a quarter or almost $500,000 to raise a child from an infant to 18 years old in this country. At least $250,000. What if y'all stop making all these babies that you really can't take care of anyway? What if you took that money and used it for your black revolutionary cause instead of spitting out babies that don't do a damn thing for you? Out of all these babies that y'all have, black revolutionaries, y'all blackly black, what do they do for your cause? And this is something they're not going to tell you either, these blackity black. Some of y'all children is in jail, in prison, and there's nothing that you can do can get them out. Some of y'all children are homosexuals and gay, crackheads, drunks. They don't do nothing for the revolution. They don't do nothing to help you build your nation. They don't never talk about that. And you keep spitting these children out. You can't, once you spit this child out, you don't know what's going to happen. I don't care how blackety black. Matter of fact, some of you, because of how you are, as the children grow, they actually hate being pro-black because you are an abuser. You're vile and you're profane. You're a dictator. You're an exploiter. And they can't wait to get the hell away from your crazy ass. And that's what you see. Same thing.
I know children. I know children of many. I was gonna say that I know many children of Black Panther. I've heard of quite a few children of Black Panthers, Nation of Islam members, and stuff that went to prison.
Yeah.
Over the years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Children, you know, who was raised up under 5%ers, you know, more than likely went to prison. Orthodox Sunni Muslim, you know, that children that came from Orthodox Sunni Muslims, you know, that went to prison. You know, every time I look on the news, I'm hearing somebody with the name of Hakeem or Jamal getting caught up on a robbery or first-degree murder charge or a drug deal gone wrong or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where do you think these people, even with them type of kind of names, Shakia, you know, these African, Pan-African Kemetic names, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Cyrus, Horus, you know what I'm saying? You know, getting caught up on charges, killing another Black person or something, you know what I'm saying? I'm more so here. Right, Jamal, you know, I usually hear, or Taalik, you know what I'm saying? I usually hear, I'm starting to hear just as many as people with these kind of names, and as I hear Tyrone and Sam and Cold Pepper, you know what I'm saying, getting caught up on these criminal charges.
It was a guy here. Hey, it was a guy here a few years ago. His name was Elijah Muhammad, running around robbing banks.
Right. Oh man.
Look, I know two brothers, and I was around when they was born. They was born in the Nation of Islam.
Right.
And they in prison right now. I was around, and they was in their little bow ties. You know how they dress the children up, you know, the costume.
Yeah.
They was running around here, all praises due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and whatever. I was there when they was born. I remember when they was sucking, well, you know, in the Nation, they sucked their breast, but you know, when they was babies, they couldn't even walk. And now these two brothers is in prison for the rest of their lives. Last time I heard, they lifers.
Right.
And this is another thing too. These Black nationalists and all this blackity black stuff, they think they have all the time in the world to get things right. That's not how things work. Right. We come into life for a certain period of time, and then we die. Things change. When you are living, things change. You could be healthy today and dead tomorrow. You could be healthy today, like, damn, I just talked to Liv on the live stream, and you got hit by a car, and now you crippled. And you was just thinking about doing something, but you said, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. But you didn't know that you was gonna get hit by a car. Now you can't do it at all.
Right.
We think that we got all the time in the world to get it right, and that's not how things work. You have to take advantage of things.
As a matter of fact, As a matter of fact, I want to tell you, I didn't even know this, but I used to live in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
But I heard that down, as time went on, I heard that that Elijah Muhammad's son, I think his name was Nathaniel Muhammad or Elijah Muhammad Jr. One of them was a local minister at the temple they had under his administration. He was a local minister in Kansas City, and he actually was selling drugs.
Yeah.
While he was in that minister position in Kansas City, because he had to go spend time in prison over it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, here it is, a holy, so-called holy prophet, a holy man of God, supposedly. You understand? And you got a son under him that's supposed to be helping him to do his work as far as for the people, but he's selling dope to the people in the community.
Right.
And this is the same thing going on with them quasi organizations, them persuasive quasi organizations like the Nation Islam, and I'm calling it out the more science of America too. You know what I'm saying? They do the same damn thing, Corruption. They talk about the uplifting fallen humanity, but you selling dope.
Right.
To those that's already among fallen humanity. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, why don't you just become a straight up, you know what I'm saying, Nino Brown nigga and just be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Because getting behind these religious titles, hiding your dirty laundry, people could see through that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I mean, you know, because you ain't really no different. You know what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I'm glad that I don't subscribe to none of these organizations. And also the recent situation with that guy, Grandmaster Jay, that's been indicted by the feds. I can't see for nothing in the world how them Negroes were silly enough to follow behind them, because all their names is included in that same data package with his by the feds, because all of them had laptops where he was communicating with them through.
Right.
Give up their information stuff. Now tell me if that ain't no provocative move. You see what I'm saying? But you want to call somebody a provocateur? Look at Grandmaster Jay. He was supposed to, I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about. Every time you get a bunch of Negroes with guns, all of a sudden, there you go with the Black Power thing. You know what I'm saying? But these same Negroes, you know, is the ones that's selling you up under the bus. At least Khalid Muhammad, you know, whether y'all disagree with whatever he was doing or not, at least he wasn't that kind of Negro. You know what I'm saying? I heard Yanga saying something about that Khalid Muhammad wasn't radical because he was still up under the influence of that Nation of Islam religious thing. Even though he had, you know, excommunicated himself away from the Nation of Islam after Farrakhan and them turned his back on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that, like I said about the rest of those among our dead ancestors, is that Khalid Muhammad only did the best he knew how.
So what has Yanga done radical except make babies, right, and talk? What has he done? Because the radicals in the United States of America, either you in the morgue or you in prison. That's what happened to radicals in the United States of America. What has he done radical? Are you there, Taalik?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I just,
Can you hear me?
I mean, I'm just confused about his kind of talk, because the way he talks like he's a real revolutionary. He done killed 21 of the enemy, and he got all these kinds of stars and stripes on his uniform. What is your credentials, sir? What have you done, radical? Because all the people that I know of that's radical, they looking over their shoulder, or they're in the morgue or in prison, because the United States don't play that. The United States don't play games with their enemies. They come to kill you. Hell, the state of Israel is still looking for Nazi people, and the World War II been over for decades. They still looking for Nazis. I saw the state of Israel bring in a ex-Nazi. He was in a wheelchair on oxygen. They was bringing him into court. Like, damn, is it that serious? That's how they deal with their enemies. You ain't that damn radical. You just got a big mouth. You don't have nothing. Because if I invited Yanga here, I want to ask him, what have you done? You talking all this tough stuff and so radical. What have you done radical? I want to say this, and we're going to get out of here. Sister Nandy was talking about what happened to Rosewood and what happened to Black Wall Street. Well, first of all, Rosewood was alone. Black Wall Street was alone. There was no other black people backing them up. They didn't have no help from nowhere. They were alone. And when we are alone, we are easy pickings. It's just like if you are in a herd of antelope, you're safer when you're unified in your herd. The lion and the tiger is waiting for the antelope that's dumb enough. I'm going to do my own thing. And so the tiger and the lion sit back in the cut. Uh-oh, there we go. And that's how it was for them. Black Wall Street was destroyed because they knew it wasn't going to be any repercussions. We can destroy. It ain't like black people all over the country was going to go crazy because of what happened to Black Wall Street or Rosewood or any of our people. We're not, they're easy pickings. We should have went crazy when they bombed that church in 1964?
1963. Yeah, Birmingham. Yeah.
We as a people should have went crazy when that happened. 4 little girls. But they knew what the deal was going to be. See, when you are building the Mississippi campaign, when you are getting that together, you are going to be motivational, inspirational. That type of mentality is gone. Because if you hurt one or you hurt anybody associated with our nation, we coming after your ass. It's simple as that. So if you help build the state of Mississippi to economic power and you live in California, if something happened to you in California, the state of Mississippi coming to help you. It's not going to be the same like it was in Rosewood or Black Wall Street. Because if Rosewood or Black Wall Street had a state, had us even unified as a people, all you got to do is send the word out. I live in Black Wall Street, Tulsa. And you send the word out to the other brothers and sisters. I think we're going to get attacked. It don't look good here. So me and Taalik, we get in our car, whatever we got to do, we on our way to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And when them crackers wake up the next day, they got 100,000 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What y'all want to do something? What you want to roll? You want to do something? That's how it needs. That's how we need to roll. That's how it needs to be done. If the Nation of Islam if all of us are united as a people, whether you agree with the person's religion or whatever, but if the Nation of Islam is part of us as a people, when they jump on the Nation of Islam, they got to jump on all of us. you're not messing with the Nation of Islam. You got to jump on all of us. It's simple as that. We worry about the technicalities. Did they do something wrong? Well, we worry about that later. You remember back in the day, Taalik, somebody jumped on your family member? You don't be asking questions, well, what did you do? No, your cousin, your mama, whoever it is in trouble, and you jump to their aid. It's simple as that. If they was wrong, or whatever, you worry about that later. You don't jump on my cousin.
Yeah.
And then, and then you trip off of if they wasn't wrong. You know, you go behind closed doors. Damn, cuz, you know you stole that, man. You got me all caught up. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. We worry about the technicalities. We worry about the technicalities later. Right now, we got some suckers jumping on my cousin. And you already covered talking about betrayal. You already talked about that, so I'm not going to be redundant. But you already covered that. You already covered that. But I do want to add this to that conversation. Not only, there's not too much that you can do when somebody betray you. We already went through that last year. We had people and persons among us, and they stabbed us in the back. And we treated them well. And they still stabbed us in the back. And there's nothing too much that you can do about that. But also, there are people who say they ride with you and they just quit on you. They're not selling out. They're not selling out or whatever. I just don't want to do that no more. You can't.
And of course, we had to deal with that too.
Right. You know, so, you know, I just quit. Just quit on you. I know Brother Maurice had all those people fired up. We're going to go to Mississippi, whatever. As long as he was talking, yeah, Brother Maurice, I'm with you, brother, blah, blah, blah. But then when he actually put into motion, we're going to put boots on the ground in Mississippi, people start changing their mind. Well, Maurice, well, I can't, you know. What you going to do when somebody quit on you? Folks just quit.
And see, that's the crazy thing. That man went out his way, took his family and all his resources and went to Mississippi for his followers or those that claim to support him to turn their back on him. Yep. And see, this is why I don't care to do nothing for Black people. This is why I owe Black people nothing.
Right.
Like you would say, I don't owe Black people nothing. Yes. Because the minute you do something tangible, as they say, when it comes to leading the charge, and you put yourself out there on the front line,
right,
just to put your head on the chopping block, and then everybody else turn around and go the other way, that's what make me don't want to even be involved in this struggle crap. Because of stuff that happens all the time. Me and you both know all these dead leaders that these people be talking about. Unfortunately, they had to learn the hard way. Yes. Just like our brothers and sisters that's still doing time in prison for the struggle cause. Yes. Or that's in exile over the struggle cause, like Assata Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody doing a damn thing for them. You see what I'm saying? So we go all out our way when we could be doing something else with our lives. We go all out our way for these people just to put ourselves on the front line.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, listen, I ain't mad at Dr. King's kids. I ain't mad at Malcolm X's kids. Because far as they could see, well, they fathers put their lives on the line for these Negroes not to even carry on their struggle. You see what I'm saying? Or where they left off at. So why should they get involved? So they living life as comfortably as they can. And in a way, I'm not mad at them. Because, I mean, look, you know, Y'all ain't carrying on what our fathers left behind. You know, so I mean, you know, and this is why I say that if you gonna really be about that life when it comes to the liberation and struggle for your people, you don't really need to be every day or almost every day on social media talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you got thousands of people listening, or hundreds of thousands of people, even millions of people listening. But do you see any of them really getting on the bandwagon?
No.
Obviously, because they the scared they damn self.
Right.
Or they know you ain't really serious.
Absolutely.
There it is.
And a lot of them will even write or even tell other, you'll see them go to other channels, or I just listen to them for entertainment. They might not put that on your comment section, but they'll go somewhere else, because I see some of these people in other places, or I just listen to them for entertainment. They don't even take none of this serious. They don't take, all of it really is entertainment for them. And no matter how we talk here on the Reality Temple, there's still going to be people who don't take us serious. And I damn sure not your entertainer. But there's nothing that I can do about people that look at me just for entertainment. So clearly you don't even know, they keep talking about, I'm doing this for my people, I do this for the people. Apparently you don't even know your people, because if you know your people, they're not taking none of this serious. But see, that's why the Mississippi campaign is important, because if you could pull that off, it'll give them something to look up to and be inspired and motivated and fight something for them to fight for. Talking about Egypt is cool. That has nothing to do with us. Talking about all this beautiful African history, that don't mean nothing. What we built with our own hands, that the people themselves can participate in. Like I told you, even your little baby, take a seed and let the little baby put the seed in the ground, take a picture, and when the child get older, and when the child grow up and see the successful, wealthy, economic paradise that you built, tell that child, see, when you was 3 years old, 4 years old, you was putting seeds in the ground and help build our nation here. Give them something to fight for. Give them inspire them to do something. They have no inspiration like that. That's why it's important. Nobody's inspired by your personal business, your personal farm. The Mississippi campaign is about the participation of a vast majority of Black people, so you can see what you can do and express your godhood and your kinghood. You mean to tell me you a god and you a king and all this kind of good stuff, but you can't take control of a state? Hell, they're not even control of a neighborhood or a town or a city. You don't control nothing. So I see why you got problems, or you have problems, and you keep talking about, oh, that was done before. Well, where is it then? When did you take control of a state? When did this happen? What happened? When did this happen? No, you are caught up in your religion. They've turned the struggle. Black nationalism is a religion, because Black nationalism has nothing to do with your personal morality or nothing like that. It is about the simple freedom of a people from their oppression. Pan-Africanism is not about your personal morality or whatever. It's simply about the unification of melanated people together. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with your sexual orientation and all this other garbage. That's your own personal stuff. That's how it was when I was growing up.
And it don't have nothing either to do with your criminal past, because I be seeing these people or your personal life, because right. I see these people getting on social media and the pro-black conscious or pro-black nationalist community talking about each other's past personal life experiences, past criminal histories, you know, and all that stuff. And I've even heard Nandy, you know what I'm saying, chew a few people out about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You get on there, you know, you talk about each other like a dog, put each other's personal business out there, all that crazy crap like Sarnetta and them do, you know. And I mean, it's just crazy. The Pasha died and all them, you know, got they showing their whole body figures all on the internet and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So you leave people with enough ammo to attack you when you do stuff like that, you know?
Yes.
So I mean, it's just crazy, man.
And I said this. I'm gonna leave you to close.
Yeah,
out.
because
this.
All right.
And then I'm gonna let you close the live stream out because I'm really done after I say this. Simply, many of the ones that's talking all this crap. Oh, you're a sellout. You're Uncle Tom. Chances are they are the real enemy because they don't want you to do nothing. What's wrong with taking control of a state? Why do you have all these questions? You've done your time. Your strategy and your mindset has been around for over 100 years. They never bring that up. They want us to continue to have their mindset, their strategy, but we've been doing it. Many thousands of people have been doing this stuff for over 100 years. And what do you have? Except excuses. Well, if it wasn't for the white man, if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that, woulda, shoulda, coulda. You keep failing. You're incompetent. And you puff out your chest and you act like your doo-doo don't stink and you're arrogant, don't have a pot to piss in. Let your actions speak louder than your words. And let us see what you produce. All these debates, why don't y'all debate on what you produce? If they had to debate on what they produce, they would take their channels down because they're not capable of producing anything. Let's talk about vegans versus meat eaters. Let's talk about Darwinism versus what? How does this help us get out of the situation that we're in? Mm-hmm. It does not. Let's debate on what we're producing. Now, Sarnetta talk about what he's produced. What has Sarnetta produced? I give the information. What has that information caused the people to produce? How has it changed people's lives? What has it done for us? Absolutely not. I know his information ain't did a damn thing for me. I know that. Here we are. We have a plan and a vision that is not mine. It's my ancestors who was doing this anyway. The only thing we did was put a name on it. That's all. And you're going to make mockery, keep talking about the ancestors. But you make mockery of the people that you actually know. Some of them are still alive right now. You're going to tell me about Kemet and all this other stuff that you don't have a damn thing to do with. So why would people born in America, why would they be interested in what happened in Kemet? I know my own personal family. I never hear nobody mention Kemet or Africa or none of this stuff. The only thing they want to know is how I'm going to pay my bills. How we going to live better. That's all. If you want people to listen to all your fantasy fairy tales, produce food, clothing, and shelter for them, and you can get their attention. If you can't produce food, clothing, and shelter for them, they don't want to hear that stuff. That's why the Nation of Islam was doing so well, because the Nation of Islam was giving the people jobs, and they was producing food, clothing, and a certain amount of shelter. And the people was attracted to that. And they gained a certain amount of respect. You didn't have to be a Muslim. But if you jump on the Muslims, you jumping on the black community. That's how it was back in the day. Back in the day, the Nation of Islam, all the other businesses have locks and stuff on their doors. Nation of Islam business didn't have locks and doors on their businesses. That's the kind of respect that they had from the people. But I bet you right now, the Nation of Islam got locks and stuff on their doors now, because Farrakhan, they don't have that. Oh, that's gone. That's over with. But working the Mississippi, just talking about it, put that idea, this is yours. You're going to gain power. Look at the benefits that you can get if you do this. Fire the people up. I told you, these blackity black people, they are really our enemy. They are the enemy. They keep talking about you the sellout and the coon. No, you are. They are the enemy. They don't want you to have nothing. Because if you can be successful, what is it for them? There's nothing their day is over. They want you to stay in the position that you're in so they can have something to run their mouth about. They don't want nothing. They don't want you to be. What they want us to do is go to their slave plantation. That's what they do. That's what all this blackity black, pro-black stuff. They want you to be their slave. That's what it's all about. I'm not going to be your damn slave. Take your black nationalist bullshit and kick rocks. We don't do that here. Slavery is over here. Like the brothers, the Deacons of Reality, made a video. Slavery is over here. We don't do that. This pro-black, blackity, even this new Aboriginal crap is crabs in the bucket mentality, like the Deacons say. It ain't no damn different. It's the same stupid mindset, except obsessed with Africa. They obsessed with being some kind of Aboriginal, Native, I don't know what the hell. We believe and support everything except the right stuff. We better get it together. I hope time hasn't ran out. I'm doing the best I can to show you that you need to do things different. I never come on here telling you that you should not be an Aboriginal, you should not claim to be African or a Hebrew Israelite. I'm telling you, if you love us as a people and you care about your future generations, you need to take appropriate action to make their future better. Otherwise, you're looking at extinction. Otherwise, you're looking at, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, you're going to make your future generations a permanent underclass. And so for me, that's all I have to say on the matter. I've done enough. I'm going to turn the mic over to Brother Taalik, and he's going to take us out of this live stream. I thank you for listening. Jot down your comments, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff if you want. You know how we roll here. I don't beg for stuff like that. You can Cash App if you want to. You can purchase my autobiography if you want to. All that information is in the description box if you want to. We don't trip off that stuff. We focus on liberation and changing our condition. Stop talking about history and become history making. I turn the mic over to our brother Taalik.
And with that said, brothers and sisters, I must, carry us out with this point that, we need to really take our present and future into serious consideration at this time, because in fact, like the brother said, time may have ran out. You know, we're living in a time right now which is very hectic and hostile, and we don't know what the next decision, you know, coming, you know, at the head at the hands of those that rule this nation and world may bring. You know, we saw what this pandemic did, you know, and we don't know if anything worse may come right after this. But we must prepare ourselves, because if we don't prepare ourselves, in fact, we will become an exterminated people. That's no doubt, you know, and we must also, you know, start to realize and take into account, you know, us being responsible for ourselves, you know, and us being responsible for our future generations to come behind us. Because if we're not responsible for our present state of condition right now, then our future generation won't have a future. And that's just the reality of the situation. So we must understand how serious this is, and stop playing games. Stop playing games on social media, and stop playing games even while we out, you know, with our boots on the ground. Because yeah, we could have our boots on the ground, but that don't mean that we actually doing the work because we got our boots on the ground. We could just be talking, just saying that we doing the work because we got our boots on the ground, but that necessarily may not be true either. You know what I'm saying? We just may just be saying that just to get props in social media, you know? So, other than that, like I said, you know, we really need to understand where we are at right now as a people and start actually doing something, you know, because as you can see, this current administration that's in Washington, D.C. definitely don't give a damn about us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it don't make no sense for our people to keep voting. And we not gonna get nothing out the deal tangibly, you know, and like you know, the brother got done speaking about earlier, we not giving these people no money like these other ethnicity groups are. So we can't expect for them to do nothing for us anyway, and we not putting no money in the coffers for them to do anything, you know, because like the brother also said, with us giving our money to these you know, blood pour sucking preachers and imams and all this other kind of stuff and ministers, is definitely ain't doing nothing for us, you know. So, you know, it's important to remember where we put our money at. If we want our money to be effective, we got to make sure and know which are the appropriate places for us to put our money at, and not into the hands of these blood-sucking religious preachers and religious zealots out here that's constantly taking our people's money every day in the community. So, I mean, you know, with that said, I just want to just point that out also, and also point out too that you know, we need to really get politically sound. You want to talk about getting politically sound as Black nationalists? Well, then we need to start acting like we want to do the work of you know, bringing political change to our situation. And I'm not talking about waiting on the Democrat or Republican Party to do it either. You know, and what I mean by that is taking action. You know what I'm saying? Taking action. I don't care what party you under, whether it's the new Black Panther Party, whether it's new African Republic Party. I don't care what party it's under. We need to take action. We ain't taking action. So, the name brand you put on it ain't gonna make no difference until it's actually carried out. And that's why we're so serious here at the Operation Exodus Mississippi, because we actually want to move on carrying out actual political moves to where we can actually make a change for our people, that would deliver us from this over 400 years of oppression that we are under. Because no matter, what type of financial state we're in, what type of class of financial state we find ourselves in, we ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas in the eyes of these races. You know what I'm saying? We still stand a chance every day of something happening to us because of our melanated skin, as some of those of you want to always put it. So, I just, want to make sure that, I covered that ground in getting my point across. And also, we need to also understand too that we may have ran out of time. We definitely may have ran out of time. We have no time to be really, we really ain't got no more time to be sitting up watching the Super Bowl or worrying about who gonna win the next NBA title. You know what I'm saying? Because of the condition that we're in. We are in a dire situation that we need to get up out of. Because anything is subject to happen. Y'all seen what happened just these last couple of years with COVID-19, and we warned y'all before even COVID-19 came to pass. We warned y'all that anything in this nation as well as world is subject to change. Anything that's going on and how we live every day. And you seen what happened during COVID. It changed our usual everyday living routine. People had to start wearing masks. You couldn't go in certain places if you didn't even have one on, and all this other kind of stuff. You couldn't travel like you wanted to. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, anything is subject to cause our everyday living routine to change in this country. This is why it's important for us as sole Black people to unite and put our little petty differences to the side, and let's do something for the sake for ourselves and especially for our future generations. Because many of you say that it's all about the future generations anyway, right? Well, we need to act like it, and stop all this stuff that we doing over social media, which is really not making no difference. You talking about this this currency. What's that currency they be talking about on them Black YouTube channels? Not the Fed currency, the cryptocurrency and all. Listen, let me say this. All that don't mean nothing right now in the scheme of things. All that ain't nothing but a bunch of BS. Okay, I know many of you ain't gonna agree with it, but all that ain't nothing but a bunch of BS. You could still be, just like you could be a Negro in America that got billions of dollars in their bank account like Bill Cosby or somebody, like that, but you still could get locked up like he did, or you could get your hair blew off because they see the nigger word. Do you see my point? So you can own as much cryptocurrency as you can, even get rich off it as you can, much as possible, but that still ain't gonna change your state of condition as a so-called American Negro here in the United States. It is just that simple. That's not going that's not going to change the order routine with us being up under the oppressor's iron fist. It's just not going to change that. We got all the black millionaires and wealthy people in the country than anywhere else on this planet Earth. Has it changed that yet?
No.
Hell, Oprah Winfrey can't even walk in no store without being followed. And people know she rich and famous. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, you got to understand this is the reality of the situation, you know? And this is what we must contend with every day until we gain total liberation for once and for all from up under the heels of our over 400-year oppressors, you know, and stop playing about this liberation thing. Talking about we really about liberation. We want to be separatists. When it separate your ass from the oppressor then, you know, even if it take us getting land to where we got to, like the brother said earlier, you know, where we got to chop down all the trees, clear pathway to create our own roads, our own water dams, you know, and live in huts until we could, you know, gain more resources by establishing an open path to where we can live comfortably. You see what I'm saying? Because get obtaining freedom, you know, don't nothing ready-made come with that. Like the brother was trying to tell you earlier. You know, at least with this Mississippi campaign ideal, at least you got a state that has everything set up. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but as far as, you know what I'm saying, actually getting your own freedom, usually, if these white folks wanted to give us land, like the brother say, and you know, and tell us, but y'all got to do all the work. We can't do the work for you. There go your land, not going about your business. Are y'all truly ready for that? Are y'all really truly ready for that? See, them is hard questions. I know them hard questions, but are y'all truly ready for that? You know what I'm saying? Are y'all really truly ready for them to tell you, well, look, we gonna send you to Africa. We gonna give you the Congo Republic or something like that. But you're gonna have to do your work yourself. We can't do nothing for you. You're gonna have to get your own water. You're gonna have to grow your own food. We ain't gonna give you no kind of aid or nothing. We just gonna leave you dry and let you go on your own and figure it out for yourself. What you gonna do then? Are you really gonna be ready to separate from the enemy? Or you gonna be waiting for your reparations and then leave from around the enemy? You see what I'm saying? But see, that's wishful thinking, because they not gonna give us no reparations. They've showed you that many times over and over again, told you flat out to your faces, like they did the adults movement. You know what I'm saying? That they not giving you no reparations. That's not even a discussion. You know, that's not even open discussion on the table. We're not giving you no reparations. They've already told you that flat out. So what you gonna do? Still keep waiting? Well, keep waiting and see what happened behind when you keep waiting for something. It's time for us to take our freedom. It's time for us to take our liberation. That's just the bottom line. You know, we cannot stop. We cannot keep waiting on people to do for us what we could do for ourselves. Like they say, like this old saying go, you know, you cannot keep on doing stuff that's been repeatedly done, and that ain't worked. And you cannot keep doing stuff by waiting on somebody to do it for you, because you're going to see what type of results come along with that. You know, you say you follow Marcus Garvey. You say you support Marcus Garvey. You say you agree with the ideologies of Marcus Garvey. But he also told you to take your destiny into your own hands. And that's what comes along with taking your destiny into your own hands. It's not waiting for your oppressor to give you nothing. I bet half of you in the pro-black nationalist community vote. And if you say you don't, you telling a damn lie. Louis Farrakhan vote. He even told his own followers in the Nation of Islam that it was all right to vote, other than the fact that his teachers said don't vote. Those were the true teachings of the Nation of Islam up under of Elijah Muhammad, who said don't vote, don't participate in the voting system of this country. So there you go. You flip-flopping. You either gonna be about revolution and separation as you claim to be, or you might as well just go back to being an old Negro slave like you always been anyway. You know, because ain't nobody got time for them games. You got people out here that see through all that rhetoric. That's why don't nobody take you serious, just like somebody got done saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't nobody take you serious like that. You know, you're not serious. We are in a crisis right now throughout America every day. Just being a melanated, dark-skinned person is a crime in itself in America. I guess you forgot about that too, right? That's why it's important for us to separate. That's what makes it even more important for us to separate from our enemy oppressor. Just based on that alone. But you know, keep on doing your thizzy. You know, getting on social media, having these solar debates, having these other different type of debates, frivolous debates, like you always have, and see how far they get you as a people as a whole. You know, since you say you about the people, well, then it should be about us all. And what we're doing is wasting each other's time as a people, because it's affecting us all as a people when we wasting each other's time in that manner. And with that said, you know, I mean, like I said, I know there are going to be those that's going to disagree with what we had to say on this live podcast today. But hey, you know, that's something that I can't worry about. You know, just like, you know, those that's in the grave who you speak against, like Martin Luther King and certain other people, they sure didn't care about what you thought about them when they was alive. So that's the same attitude approach I take, you know? But that's not going to change the way I feel for wanting real liberation for our people. Instead of all this shucking and bull jiving that we doing. Playing revolution and not really demonstrating it. And with that said, I'm out 5,000 in peace.
What's up, Ebony 433?
I wanted him to assume that I'm a person looking to get down with this Mississippi campaign. How does one get started with this? Sir? Mr. Angel Snupnup.
What was the question again? I didn't hear.
gonna hang you.
Yeah.
Y'all, hang you, and enough y'all made me get up together. Y'all made me goddamn go old school to read. Both y'all. I'm Gavin.
You still didn't answer the question, sir.
No, didn't.
He still didn't answer the question.
He's not.
You still didn't answer the question, sir.
Answer the question.
Where it goes, nobody knows.
It's selfish to not allow a child to grow up. Some people spoil their children. They won't let them grow up. They keep, no matter how old they get, they keep letting, they want to do things for the child. Let your child grow up. Let these black people grow up.
Let's get away from the magic that we make it be so fine. Come on, love things are still today. I'll hold you in my arms and squeeze you tight.
Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind. Free your mind.
Hey. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy New Year that's coming. EnVogue t-shirts.
Yay.
Woohoo.
We have other styles too, so make sure you check out our website.
Definitely. Happy holidays.
Happy